Well, I think that it's very important for the survivors to give an account of what took place inside of police stations firsthand, opposed to third party, well, second party, third party information. I think that it is very important for people to be able to see that individual as well. And I just think that it has helped uh, this cause 100% to have the survivors in present opposed to not being present. So having them there is very important. Well, it's been helpful due to the fact that I have been able to reach many different ears. It has worked in educating the people about what took place with torture, uh, tortures in the city of Chicago under detectives such as John Burge, detectives such as Boudreaux and Holleran and James O'Brien. And it has helped to basically give people a better insight that what took place was racist. And basically, how it has helped me is basically being able to get the word out and to build in mobilization with more and more people coming on board to fight around this particular issue, as there still remains quite a few individuals that are still incarcerated, and the numbers as high as 100 different people still languishing inside of our prisons, waiting on hearings on their claim of torture. And I just don't think that's right. I've always been very touched how some of the young kids, they will basically appear to be unattentive, but at the end, how they walk up to me and they nudge because they want to talk somewhat privately. And they tell me that they have a loved one incarcerated, and, you know, just how much they're missing their loved one. And, you know, they need help to see if their loved one could ever be freed out of prisons. I recall one time speaking, and a young lady approached me and she told me that her father had been in prison. So those are touching situations. I think that the young kids, it does uh, touch their attention span, but they're so young. And being so young, they realize that many people have been mistreated, but they don't know what to do to help loved ones or people from the community that have been impacted as the result of torture. And when, well, I would say before the pandemic, we would have RISE meetings every second Saturday of the month. And this provided opportunity for some of those young kids to get involved and to at least try to fight to see if they could get their loved ones home from cases in which even young kids feel is overboard in sentencing. You know, in most instances, their loved ones been caught up with drug cases. And when I say caught up, that means they were arrested, charged, and sentenced for drug-related crimes. And for them to have these punitive long sentences, in some instances, some of these kids will be 30 or 40 years old before their parents return back to society. So that's always touching to me. And it is always my pleasure to provide knowledge to these kids about the history of Chicago police torture.
Mm.
They asked basically, how did you feel being found guilty of the crime and sentenced to prison? They asked questions like, what did you do while you were in prison? They asked questions such as, why do I believe that the city of Chicago did not take any actions, effective actions in a timely fashion against John Burge. And they asked questions like, what did you eat? How was the person that you had to cell with, meaning your cellmate, how was that person? And just basically, how do you feel spending decades behind a prison wall? Because it teaches the history of what people have had to go through in dealing with the criminal justice system. We all know that this is a systemic issue. We know that it's racist, and we know that it is systematic. And believe it or not, this is a part of history. And we have an opportunity to at least steer the course of that history, meaning what would be printed, what would be aired, what would be viewed. And I think that's very, very important because our ancestors, they did not have, in most instances, that opportunity to basically explain really what it was like in their situations. And, you know, sitting behind a prison wall for so long as the result of wrongful conviction and police tortures, I think that's a part of our histories that is not adequately told. And it's a starting point to make sure that cases like torture reparation, cases like the Central Park Five, cases even like the Inglewood Four out of Chicago, it somewhat ensures, as long as you keep fighting, that it will become a part of history in which young kids will have the opportunity to open up their textbooks and to read about this dark era that took place in the city of Chicago.